There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. I have a history of working on this issue.
I am committed to passing a Green New Deal, creating clean jobs, and finally putting an end to fracking once and for all.
Okay, she was pretty adamant about it, right? That's Kamala Harris saying she will ban fracking. That could wipe out tens of thousands of jobs in swing states like Pennsylvania. But now she's flip-flopping on that and a bunch of other positions. Okay, Vice President Harris is now in Texas to speak at a sorority event, but still no visit to the border. Joining us now, former Reagan economist Art Laffer. Art, it's always a pleasure to have you on. We love having you on the show, Art. You're so smart. Okay. So now the media is finally saying, it's good to see you. The media is finally saying the honeymoon is over for Kamala Harris. It seems like they're trying to sell an image of a brand of her here because she's not talking inflation or Bidenomics or bringing up even Joe Biden in her campaign speeches now in places like Wisconsin and Indiana and Georgia.
Yeah, no, she has a real record, Liz. I mean, she has one with Biden, which is the Biden administration, all the policies they did. She supported a lot of that. In some of the cases, I think even she was the tie-breaking vote in the Senate on certain issues, too. She also has a record as Attorney General in the state of California. She also has a record as a U.S. Senator on what she actually voted for, not just ticky-talk, what she says. And when she looks at it, she's been for the Green New Deal. She's been very proud and very upfront on all of that. She's been for trying to control production of oil and carbohydrates here in the U.S. And she has that record, and she's going to stick by those votes. And so far, she has never been a friend of energy. She's never been a friend of energy production, and she probably would not govern that way if she were elected president. And I think it's really fair to hold her to her actual votes. I just think
because
we should
if
hold
she's
it to
elected, our cost of living will go up. You know, the Fed today did not cut interest rates. All right, it may do a quarter-point cut later this year. I mean, so just if you could follow me on this, because I want to make sure we're correct here. So Harris is avoiding talking about inflation. It's been stuck above 3% for 39 straight months under Biden and Harris. Inflation shot higher. I think you're talking about this. Inflation shot higher to 4% right after the American Rescue Plan was signed by Biden, and then to 9% after Biden tossed trillions of dollars of hot money into a struggling U.S. economy. I mean, Trump handed Biden a 1.4% inflation rate. Art, wasn't it stuck below 3% for? Wasn't it stuck below 3% for nearly 10 years?
It was very low. We had it down there. I mean, it wasn't nice. I like it even lower than 1.5 or 2 or 1%. I'd like it lower than that. But her fingerprints are all over these policies. I mean, clearly higher energy prices has contributed to inflation. What she also has done is they reappointed Powell there. His policies on handling the balance sheet have clearly been the administration policies of doing that. And if you look at all the bills that she's voted on or sat ready to break a tie, her fingerprints are all of those. And to my way of thinking, Liz, and not to be mean or nasty, but I don't think those have been good policies. I think we've had very slow growth in this country relative to what we should have had following the pandemic. And I think we've had way too high inflation. And I think the participation rate in this country is way below where it should be because we've given out all of these welfare checks and all these stimulus funds, which has encouraged people not to go back to work. Yeah. And I think what we should do is really do pro-growth policies. And the pro-growth policies of Donald Trump were pretty darn good. And I think they'd really get this economy jump-started.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think he handed Biden a 4%, 5% GDP growth rate. Now we're trending around 1.4 stagflation. Watch even a CNN panelist. Let's get your reaction to even a CNN panelist say Kamala Harris is a socialist. And you're going to hear people, attendees at the teachers' convention, union convention in Houston, they say they can't name anything she's accomplished. Plus, you're going to hear Hispanic voters saying, we're going to go for Trump after they went for Biden. Watch this.
What we're witnessing is a sugar high. We all crash at the end of it, and they're going to crash once they start dissecting her record. And I elected people in California. To win anything in San Francisco, you have to be a near socialist to win there. Those values are very much outside of the mainstream.
I don't know. She was Vice President of the United States, and she was Attorney General in California, and she was the senator from California. I really don't know much of what she did.
I'm not sure I know enough about her accomplishments to answer that question.
It's just I don't trust her.
Why?
Because her background. I don't trust her.
Final word, Art.
Yeah, she's never been in private business. She's been in government all her life, which is a socialist organization where you get fixed pay. And she's just not going to do a good job, I don't think, on creating an incentive environment for the economy. That's what we need.
Art, no one does it like you. We find it such a pleasure to have you on the show. You just go right at it. We appreciate
You're the
you,
best,
Art
Liz.
Laffer. No, you. Okay,
Thank you
Love
very
Fest
much.
is over. Thank you, Art Laffer.